Hey friends, I want to welcome our new sponsor, Laird Superfood. As a type 1 diabetic myself, I'm always interested in stories and products around nutrition, and I really like the idea of functional nutrition in a small scoop. Laird Superfood all started when big wave surfer Laird Hamilton shared his functional coffee with his friend Paul Hodge. Paul tried his special blend, and he knew that Laird's incredible coffee recipe needed to be made available to everyone, and they launched the original Superfood Creamer in 2015. What happened was Laird started experimenting with his morning ritual about 2 decades ago, and he found that when he started adding fats to his morning cup, like coconut oil, that he had energy throughout the rest of his day. He eventually perfected his recipe for an epic cup of fuel and started sharing it with friends in the surf community. Now, all Laird products are sustainably sourced and thoroughly tested to ensure that you're incorporating the cleanest, finest fuel into your routines. And again, as a diabetic, I appreciate no sugar from highly refined corn syrup. There's no artificial flavors, colors, or additives. Are you ready to feel more energized, focused, and supported? Go to lairdsuperfood.com, that's L-A-I-R-D, superfood.com, and you can add nourishing, plant-based foods to fuel you from sunrise to sunset. Use our promo code HANSELMINUTES at checkout to save 15% off your purchase today. Hi, I'm Scott Hanselman. This is another episode of Hansel Minutes, and today, a very special episode of the Hansel Minutes podcast. I'm talking to my son.
Hello.
This is Zenzo Hanselman. How are you, sir?
I'm very good, thank you.
Okay. So there were a number of things you wanted to talk about. We were going to have you on the podcast. You are now 17. How is 17 working out for you?
It's working out pretty good. Doing school. School's good. Yeah.
Do you have any angst or ennui or kind of like existential?
Oh, a lot of existential dread. Because, life starting now. Next year, I'm going to be starting to apply into colleges and actually going to college. So, got to think about what I want to do with my life.
Are you stressed out?
No.
There's a lot of articles. Like I read an article in the Atlantic about how everyone's really stressed out.
I'm actually not stressed out, but I will be stressed out.
So you have anticipatory stress?
Yes.
How do you deal with stress?
I don't know, actually. It's kind of like an interesting thing. I don't really think about how I deal with stress. I kind of just...
That's probably something you should think about.
Yeah, I should. I should give it more thought.
I've noticed that the last year or two, when you're tired, you just sleep. So you'll just go, I'm going to go to bed. But when you were younger, you would stay up all night. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you see the difference. I have been learning the usefulness of a nap every now and then.
Yeah.
Well, it has been kind of cutting into my this off time, but
your Minecraft time.
Yeah, of course.
But it seems representative of you listening to your body. And if your body's like, I need to sleep, you're like, okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, I think at this point it's better to not fight your body. Unless you're like doing homework or something, it's better to just kind of if you're off and doing nothing, then you better let your body live its life.
I had a guy on the show a couple of weeks ago who is a English teacher, and he wrote a book called Why They Can't Write. And he talks about how the 5-paragraph essay is BS, basically. And it's just this weird structure. Introduction, 3 paragraphs of supporting stuff, and then a paragraph like, say what you're going to say the thing, and then say what you said. And he says it's gotten so rote, so kind of like automatic turn the crank, that kids will just use AI to just spit those out because it's not really learning, it's just jumping through hoops. What is your 17-year-old take on that?
I do. I hate the 5-paragraph essay. Like the beginning, I wish we'd do more like story-based stuff and like actual creative stuff. Like even creative writing classes don't do much actual like narrative building. I'm in an AP Lang class, so you can't really cheat on it because it's on paper.
AP here in the U.S. is called advanced placement. Yeah, it's like if you were doing O-levels and A-levels, you're getting ready for your A-levels. So you're doing AP English?
AP English. Yeah, AP Language and something. I don't know.
Cool. Good job.
Yeah. But yeah, it's all on paper, so you can't really cheat. I did know a kid actually who did use ChatGPT and other like, what are they called?
Yes, intelligent assistants, like Grammarly or whatever.
Not Grammarly, but like everyone uses Grammarly at this point.
Okay.
For writing an essay, the teacher even says use Grammarly.
Okay, so Grammarly is like super spell check.
Yeah.
ChatGPT will generate text for you.
Yeah, generating text thing. He did on another AP class, the AP US History.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, like it takes 40 minutes. We had to write this little. They're called storyboards. Basically, like write information down, use quotes to like show a point about like the historical narrative that these people had. He wrote, I mean, he got the same grade as me. I wrote mine legitimately. He used ChatGPT. I wouldn't say that there's any like, I don't know. Did it save him time? It did save him time.
Conclusion here.
It saved him like a little bit of time, but it was 30 minutes worth of work. And I think I learned more than he did. I did get the same grade. So if you're looking at it purely from a grading point of view, I guess it's better. But like when he gets asked about it down the line, I think I would, because I applied the learning, I probably know more than he does.
But who taught you this? I'm not running around the house going ethics, you know, like how did you determine this perspective on AI?
You kind of got to look at it from like the usefulness to quickness ratio. I'm not doing anything more important than this homework and this assignment.
Like in life?
Yeah, in life.
Okay.
Therefore, I don't need to cheat and use the ChatGPT to save myself 20 minutes of me writing this thing. And the knowledge I will gain and knowledge I'll use later down the line will be more efficient and be like better for me than that free 20 minutes to play Minecraft or do something.
But you're following your kind of bliss in that you have things you're interested in, things you're not interested in. Like I've noticed that you have limited interest in some of the more advanced math, and like after quadratics and stuff, like it's kind of, you don't care. But if you think about something like history, you seem to know all of that stuff. Like you're interested in those things. Where do you draw the line on what you think is useful and what you think is not useful?
It's not what I think is useful. I think it's what I think is like interesting and like really sparks any kind of like joy. Like wars and the history and stuff and like diplomatic stuff. It's like cool to me. And it's like, nah.
But you were like one of those kids, you know, that when you were a little kid, you'd walk around like, you know, actually, Napoleon was quite a bit taller than people give him credit for. Like you would do that at parties and just like spout facts about historical figures.
Because it's awesome to me, you know? It's like Napoleon's like strategic mind and things. He's apparently one of the most like the best strategic minds of all generations. And
not an awesome guy though.
I mean, no, but it's like cool to think about like all Alexander the Great and stuff and like people that are just kind of made the world the way it is and like the dominoes that fell so that they could become the people they are.
So you're a history nerd.
Yeah.
Okay. But not a quadratic equation nerd.
Not a quadratic equation nerd.
No. At no point was the quadratic equation.
At no point was the quadratic.
Okay. Yeah. So you've got these tools though, like Google and Bing, that'll make it easier for you to do stuff. You'll use them for hints and stuff, but like when do you draw the line on what's cheating versus what's like getting extra help?
I think it's about what the thing asks you to do. Like if a homework says specifically, do not use Google, I'll try not to use Google on it, you know? But if it's like kind of vague, it's like use the internet to figure out this, but don't like you copy paste it. Like a lot of things you can find online. And it's like if it asks me to go online and do like a words or Google search thing. I don't know, there's some assignments like that. If you can find the entire document online.
Oh, you're saying that you'll actually find the document.
Copy paste it. Yeah. Straight.
The teacher's copy and paste it. Yeah. You'll go and find the source document.
No, I can copy paste.
What do you do with that information though?
Well, I just basically use it to double check what I already know. So I'm not like wasting the time. But yeah, it's like I'll just make sure I know the thing. Like with math, it is a lot. You do the problem and then you come back and double check it.
Yeah, check the answers.
Yeah,
basically. Yeah. Interesting. You wanted to talk about COVID also. You spent a year and a half doing like Zoom classes. It seemed like you liked that. Your brother was not too into it, but you kind of thought that was awesome.
I liked Zoom. It's a crazy thing to say at this point. I could tell it was bad for me because I was not like hanging out with people. I wasn't like social. I was in my room a lot. I wasn't showering as much. I was waking up late and stuff. But it was like a fun vacation, but also kind of like a deterioration.
Do you think you should have been homeschooled?
No. Because I didn't go back when they first said you can go back.
Right. You waited.
I waited the rest of the year. I probably should have done that because I was kind of just deteriorating at home. And I missed out on social things and people I didn't meet at the time. I met them later, but I didn't meet them when I could have and formed the bonds I could have formed. Yeah.
Interesting. But what do you say? Like I saw this thing in the Atlantic that was all about how the kids are not all right and that everyone is just a mess because of all the spending all this time at home, not to mention social media and stuff. I've noticed, this is like me giving you a compliment. Mm-hmm. You've been listening to your body more. And I'll notice that like at a random 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a weekend, you're like, I'm going to take a nap. And I don't think of that as being a teenager thing. Teenagers don't usually listen to their bodies. They usually do dumb stuff. So you'll go to bed. But you're also listening to your body when it comes to like, I've been on the game too much, or I've been on my phone too much. Are you noticing anything with regards to being online too much or being in front of your computer too much?
I mean, I think that COVID kind of forced people to go online because it's like, what else are you going to do with your time? You can either sleep or be online or play games.
You remember like the time before Netflix.
Yeah, vaguely. But
you remember like Thomas the Tank Engine on VHS tape.
That was best days of my life, actually. And then all the companies and stuff kind of made it like addictive. So basically you leave your kids at home doing Zoom classes with an addictive substance, the internet, in the room with them, and they become addicted to it. I've been trying to do it, but I you can check my screen time things. I'm on TikTok for like 2 hours or 3 hours a day or whatever.
You told me for the first time, like a week and a half ago, and that's kind of why we wanted to do this podcast, was that you noticed that you were not feeling good. Like you were like, you deleted TikTok. I said, it doesn't make me feel good. When did that happen?
I realized like this is exact, because I was reading something about the like pattern of addicts. Because I deleted TikTok, then I've re-downloaded it the next day. Oh man! Because I noticed like literally, and I charted it kind of like what's the word for when you you have an addiction, then you
relapse.
I relapsed basically, and I had what's the word for like the pangs of like pain, and you like need to think back.
You were jonesing for TikTok.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, oh, what are the cool things I could see on there? And it's like,
it was one day.
It was one day, because it was exactly like what an alcoholic would say. They put down their TikTok and they went to bed and they woke up and they started TikToking again.
But you know it's not good. You know exactly. Like I didn't tell you get off TikTok.
I noticed it's bad, and it's like, because every time I would sit in bed at like 12 a.m. and like watch my TikToks and stuff, I was like, this is not something I should be asleep right now. I should be doing, I don't know, anything else. But I was noticing like I can't really, like attention span is down. I think that's a big thing for TikTok and with new like content stuff is I can't focus on things as much anymore.
You noticed this
because I was trying to read a book. I was trying to read this philosophy book, and I was like,
"One you're doing
Albert Camus."
Camus.
Camus.
It's pronounced Camus.
Yeah.
C-A-M-S is pronounced Camus.
C-A-M-U-S.
C-A-M-U-S. Okay.
Yeah, but I was like, man, it's hard to focus on these pages because it's like, the Family Guy with the little games underneath it. It's like, where's my little games for this? This is kind of boring. I'm gonna watch some TikTok. Boom, I'm off the thing. I'm on the TikTok. It's interesting. And then I was like, wow, this is really, really bad for me. I should stop this so I can read books.
But then you downloaded it again. So now you're back on.
I'm trying to limit my time, though. I said like a screen time thing. It's really bad.
Oh, you said your own screen time.
Yeah, I'm trying to like, wean myself off of it.
Well, so what do you tell people? Like there are people on the phone might be saying, oh, I don't use TikTok because it's a Chinese company and they spy on us. Or someone else might be saying, well, it's just not good. I think about TikTok as I think about it in terms of simple carbohydrates. Like I like Oreos as much as the next guy, but you can't live on Oreos. They're not nutritionally valid. But an Oreo here and there is nice. TikTok's the same thing.
I think that it's kind of not. It is like Oreos, but like worse Oreos. Like those tiny Oreos that you like think you can eat a bunch of, but they're actually they're like equally as bad as normal Oreos. Because like YouTube is kind of longer. It's kind of like a show most of the time. But like a TikTok is 5 seconds. So then you're used to 5 seconds, and when you're not watching anything that's 5 seconds, you can't focus.
I don't know.
If you gave a baby TikTok and you gave them nothing but TikTok, they're probably going to have ADHD or something because they've been like taught to not focus on something for that long.
You think that in the last couple of years, you spending time on like Reels and social media, and like we're using TikTok as the physical, as the actual example, but there's lots of other similar.
Yeah, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat type things.
Okay. You're saying that you have noticed it take away your attention span.
Because like 2 or 3 years ago, like pre-TikTok era, I don't know when that was actually. Time is
time has no meaning.
Yeah, I was able to read like a book a week or something.
I remember.
Now I'm not incapable of doing, but it takes a lot more work on my part to do that.
And you noticed this about yourself?
I noticed this about myself, and I was like, this is bad, but I couldn't stop. And it's kind of so I realized it, but it was like a thing you realize you can't really fix.
So what should I do? Should I nag you constantly to get off TikTok? Is that the answer?
I don't know. It's one of those things where I'm saying there's a problem and I have no solution.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the solution is to delete TikTok.
Susan did that. It only lasts one day because it's like they should make TikTok AA meetings. It's like I am a TikToker.
the thing is, it's the time dilation that I don't like. Like if I'm on TikTok, I'll blink and I'll lose an hour. So then I wonder to myself, was that a valuable hour? And I think it's okay to use TikTok to eat sugar, but we always say all things in moderation. TikTok is one thing, but like Netflix binging is another. You can blink and lose 8 hours and watch an entire season of a show. And you might say, well, that was amazing. I loved that experience. It fed my spirit. But then you also lost 8 hours.
True.
And afterwards, you always feel like kind of like, you know, when you eat too much, you're like, oh, well, I feel gross.
I do get that.
But you get it like because of social media.
Yeah.
Or watching.
I get that because of watching Netflix. Like I'll watch like a finish a season of a show. I'm watching House right now. I started watching
the medical drama.
Yeah, I started watching it like a week ago or something. On season 3 right now.
You're 3 seasons in.
Yeah.
So, you know, we used to wait a week.
Exactly, I know.
Every Thursday you watch House.
Mm-hmm.
So are you feeling like you're watching too much House?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, it's the same time dilation thing. I like watch one before bed, watch one when I wake up or whatever. Not like when I wake up, but like watch 2 before bed or something, and then like little ones in between.
That's a lot of House, man.
Exactly, but it's like I do this with all the shows, and it's kind of just like, I don't know.
You know, House is basically like Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Yeah, and he's a jerk.
I can figure out the what's gonna happen next based on the things, because like the 3 murders and he solves it at the last one before the murderer dies.
Yeah,
yeah. So
what you're saying, that the structure of House?
The structure, yeah. But it's kind of like candy I eat while I write stuff.
Hey friends, here's an opportunity that's bigger than just a regular sponsorship. As you may know, I'm coming up on almost 900 episodes of the Hanselman podcast, and I've recorded hundreds and hundreds of those episodes with Zencastr. That's Zencastr. Zencastr allows me to record all of these podcasts and talk to guests from all over the world, and they've recently announced crowdfunding. You can actually invest in Zencastr for as little as $100, and you can join a community of their investors. I have, in fact, invested in Zencastr. I remember when it was just a 1 or 2 person shop. They're now raising money because the podcasting industry has grown and so big. Actually, they're saying that the projections are going to be more than $150 billion by 2030. Podcasting is where it's at. So if you are interested in investing in Zencastr, you can go to WeFunder, WeFunder, wefunder.com/Zencastr. That's Zencastr without the E at the end. So Zencastr, wefunder.com/Zencastr, or just click the link in my episode description below, and you can claim your slice of the future of podcasting. Okay, so here's another thing I noticed you guys do. And by you guys, I mean like young people. You have stuff on one monitor while you're doing other stuff. Like it's one thing to have background music without words. Then it's another to have lyric heavy music. And it's yet another to have like an actual movie.
I do that. I do that a lot.
How can you concentrate if part of your brain is processing incoming words from a show? How do you do homework?
I mean, I couldn't do homework with it, but I could do a task. Like I draw while I watch shows.
Oh, well, that's different.
Yeah, I wouldn't say. I mean, I do play games and I listen to music or watch a show or something.
Okay.
Most of your attention is dedicated towards one or the other, okay. And the other one is kind of like background, the noise you're kind of listening to half of. But I don't know, that's kind of just like life.
Okay, so you're acknowledging like a primary attention. And
it's not, I'm not saying my brain is split and I'm listening to both.
Do you believe that multitasking is a thing? Because I have strong feelings about that.
I think you could probably, if they're not both like intensive brain requiring things, like I think you could fold laundry and I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's feasible multitasking, but like having 2 phone calls simultaneously with one on each ear, that's not feasible. Right?
Yeah.
You and I can't have this conversation while you're simultaneously doing math homework.
No. Yeah. No, I don't think that multitasking is.
Okay.
I think you can kind of fake it, but.
Yeah. Walk and chew gum at the same time.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Okay. So you said that you liked Zoom and you're starting to notice your attention span going away. What do you think about all the other people? I assume you have your friends who are or are not thinking about the same thing. Like, do they think, wow, I've lost my attention span?
Probably.
Do you guys talk about that stuff?
Not really.
Okay. So you don't know if anyone else is having this
I was listening
to social media as well.
Yeah, I just kind of, I live my life. I think they probably are. I don't know if they realize it or not. Mm-hmm. They definitely realize that something's like not right.
Okay. What about this art? I mentioned this article, this kind of like theme of like the kids aren't all right and the kids can't read. There's people who are depressed about social media. There's people who are struggling right now. I've noticed that you've been going out a lot more. Like you guys, you call it going out with the lads. You and the lads go out.
Yeah.
Just go for a walk or whatever. Is that conscious? Did you decide to be outside more? Because I noticed the last 6 months, you're really outside more.
I mean, I got bored inside, you know? Like, you can only watch so much TV until you need, like, to be outside in the sun and stuff, or in the rain.
And you do this on your own? Now that you're 17, you can just go out and, like, come back when it's sunset.
I mean, yeah. At some point, I want to watch TV or something, but we watch one show, and then you go out and hang out for, like, 3 or 4 hours. I think that's a better way of losing hours. If I could say I'm losing hours, like, me and my friend, we went and played chess in a park today. I think it was a good use of a couple hours, whereas I could have been sitting at home, like, not soaking in outside and stuff. I like to look at, like, nature and stuff because I think it's, like, really profound and stuff.
Interesting. So that's interesting. So you're drawing a direct comparison between, 2 hours on Minecraft versus 2 hours with your friend playing chess. They're both 2 hours long.
They're both 2 hours long, and they're both could be considered by someone a waste of time because we weren't productively creating anything or, I don't know, solving anything. But I would say the better use of time was the mind twister that was beating him in chess. I won that, yeah.
You won. I assume that means your better friend is very bad at chess.
No. I mean, usually he beats me, but today.
Okay.
Yeah, I was winning.
Interesting. So now you're going to be heading out like in the next year and a half, which is kind of freaking me out.
Mm-hmm.
Have you thought about what kind of adult you're going to be? Are you going to be an adult that goes out and talks to strangers and like says hi to people at the produce section of the grocery store?
Probably not, because we've had this talk before. Is it weird to talk to someone at a random coffee shop or something and just for the hell of it, just say, hey, how are you? I would say that the majority of people, of millennials and young people today, I don't know, are you a millennial or is that my...
No, I think I am a Gen X.
Which one's my, like, people?
Are you like a zillennial? I don't know. Do you do the millennial pause or do you shake the phone when you do a TikTok?
I have no clue.
I don't know. You're 17. Man.
Yeah, whatever those people are. I would say that no one's going to, like, come up to a random
So you're saying your people don't talk to humans?
Not random people.
Why not?
Because it's weird.
Why? Who said that? The pandemic said it was weird?
Yeah. It's like people are like separate.
Well, your grandfather, Papa, is 70.
Yeah.
And he, like, from my perspective, he invented talking to random people.
I've seen it, yeah.
You've seen him do it, right? Like at the hardware store. Like that's like classic Papa.
Yeah.
Don't you think that's cool? That's a superpower.
I think it's cool, but I just don't.
He can talk to freaking anybody.
I don't think I could do it. Like I feel like I'd be invading this person's life with my, like, with needless kind of, I don't know.
I was at the comic convention yesterday, the one that you chose not to come to with me. I'm sure you feel horrible about not joining me because you'll never get that weekend back.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there. And there was a young lady who had driven up from Corvallis, Oregon, and she was showing her art. And I remember watching this thing that said people like talking about themselves. So she had like a picture of Uhura from Star Trek that she'd drawn. And I said, oh, that looks great. Is there a story behind that? That was my starter. She has a table and she's selling her art.
Yeah.
She launched into a whole heartfelt story that went on for like 90 seconds about, her relationship to Uhura and how great she likes Star Trek and why she drew that. And there's like a whole thing. People like talking about themselves. I could have just walked by and said nothing.
I don't know. I think that the way people look at it is like the chances of that person like being happy that you're talking to them versus the chances of them doing it's kind of like a anxiety thing where it's like this person could be really, really mad that I am talking to them.
They would be angry? Why would someone be visibly angry if you
maybe I'm
hello?
Like, let's say I'm standing in line or something and I turn around to talk to them. It's like, why are you not focused in line, just not talking to me? You're taking up the time I'm doing to do something else. I don't know. It's like, that's the fear. They probably won't be really mad at me if I make small talk with.
But what if they are? Then you say, I'm sorry, and you move on with your life.
Well, that would be horrible then.
No, it wouldn't. It would be a moment, and maybe they're having a bad day.
I'll think about it later.
I was at Target earlier today, and one of the guys at Target who's the greeter, had this kind of like luxurious lion's mane of hair, and another guy with similarly wild hair, like big blonde curly, like literally Wizard of Oz lion hair. And he goes, dude, I like your hair. And the other guy paused because he's like, a human's talking to me, and he had this moment. But then he said, oh, I like yours too. And then they had this little lion mane moment where they each complimented their hair. And And I was like, and I was here to witness that little moment of humanity.
Right, that is pretty nice.
See?
I do
You
think
can have
you should
those
compliment strangers.
You should compliment strangers on their random shoes.
Yeah.
Like your shirt.
But it's kind of stressful to. I think that's the way that people look at it.
But
It's stressful to talk to.
But I told you that the worst thing that can happen is that somebody says, "Oh man, that Zenzo he's nice, aggressively nice."
They could be like, "Oh, he's weird." In high school that they will hate you for anything.
They'll hate you for being
They won't
nice.
hate you, but they'll judge. They'll be like really nice to you, then they'll turn around and talk.
So why don't judge you? You're nice though. Be nice. Why not be nice? Nice cost you nothing.
I mean,
are you telling me that there's someone out there going, "Oh, Mr. Rogers, man, what a jerk. He was too nice."
someone's hating on it. They're hating on any.
Yeah, but we don't care about.
That's true.
Mr. Rogers.
That's true.
I'm just thinking about you. Like the part that I'm all getting philosophical about is you're going to go out in the world and be on like a college campus somewhere, and you're going to have to decide.
That is a skill I'm working on though. I'm trying to be more like Papa and like talking around.
Papa can talk to anybody about anything.
I'll do it with just the people that do the cashiers and stuff.
Yeah, that's a great place to start.
Is there those people actually want to talk to you?
Do they? Sometimes they just want to get off their.
That's true. Sometimes, but usually you can tell when they want to talk to you or not. But like a random person, that's I don't know, still a crazy thing for me.
But I think I told you about my mom and I have that theory of like the magical Chipotle cashier. Have I told you this?
No.
So like, when you meet someone, I always use Chipotle, the taco place, as an example, where you have all the different interactions from the taco guy to the filling salsa person to the person at the end of the cashier. Mm-hmm. And every once in a while, you'll meet someone in your life at a movie theater, at a Chipotle, and you're just like, wow, this person's on the way somewhere. Like they're currently right now at this moment at Chipotle, and they're the cash register person, but they're a playwright or an actor, or they're building something, or they're an engineer, or they're going to be a programmer at night, or they're doing, they're writing the great American novel. But right now they're Chipotle, and you can see it in their face. Have you ever had them?
I mean, I haven't had experience with it. I talked to my friend today about it. Is crazy. We were watching a guy was going to his house. He came into his car. It's like that guy has a life. He has dreams. He has hopes. He has things he's going to go do, and they could affect me. They could not affect me. I'll never know. But it's like every little person. Like when you really think about it and get existential about it, it's like every person has like goals and stuff. But we only talk to like 50, 70 people a day if you go to school. But it's like every one of those students, there's like 2,000 people in my school, and it's like every one of them has a life goal, and that's like crazy to think about.
And parents.
And parents, and yeah. And like those people have dreams, and it's like,
because they're the center of the universe.
Exactly. But
for them.
Yeah, it's like to think that other people, it's kind of,
So this is really interesting. So you're saying at 17, you've just realized that it's not just you?
No, I mean, I always knew, but I didn't really think about the scale of that. Like if you say there's 7 billion me's out there, people that believe that think that they're the center of the universe. And it's like, oh, it makes sense why none of us are at peace, because everyone thinks that their stuff is the most important.
That's why none of us are at peace.
It's like, that's why there's wars. It's like, oh, my country of my people, and everyone else doesn't exist.
Because you're describing a lack of empathy.
Yeah.
Because empathy is literally putting your feet in someone else's shoes. And when do you think that happened as a teenager? Because you have a tendency, no disrespect, to be a little selfish.
I mean, yeah. It's kind of,
But you just realize that like other people have needs and feelings.
No, I mean, I always knew, but like the scale of it is the interesting thing to think about.
Have you ever seen a stranger twice?
No.
No, like you see a person.
Oh, I think you're
and you're like, oh, it's like that guy.
I have actually done that. Or I've seen a person that has a face that looks like another person. I was like,
no, but I'm talking about the idea that you're out in the world, in your town here, and then you see a person, then a couple of days goes by, a couple of sleeps, and then you see another person, you're like, oh, it's that guy again.
It's like, oh, he's doing something.
He's doing something.
His path having to cross mine.
So then the part that's crazy is that you are that guy.
To him.
Because he's like, oh, is that guy? I saw Zenzo twice.
And I mean, I don't even know his name. He doesn't know my name.
So then this gets to my original point, though. You want to get to know that guy? Go, hey, I like your shoes.
Nice seeing you for the second time. I have done that, actually.
Okay, how'd that work out?
They're pretty nice. It's the fear of it, though, it's like, oh, this person could, little anxiety, social anxiety in there. That's like, this person potentially could be really mean to me. They're not going to be, but they could.
And if they are, what do you do?
Well, I think about that, and then I'm sad.
And then put a time limit on it.
Of course.
And then say, all right, I'm going to feel bad about that for 20 minutes, and I'm going to move on with my life.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. As we close here, there's a thing that says that as a parent, we're trying to mold you guys and trying to make you into certain kind of people. And then at some point, we have to just give up because we've taught you everything.
Yeah.
And then at this point, I'm pretty much screwed because you are whoever you're going to be. Do you think that's true, or am I getting? Because I'm dropping knowledge here, left and right throughout your whole day, and I'm getting the sense that you don't really care.
I mean, did you learn from your father at age?
Dude, I learned
17? Exactly, yeah.
See, I learned from him all the time. You know that whole, is it, not Oscar Wilde, it's Mark Twain has that thing about how he hated his dad at 14 and how his dad just knew nothing and his dad son. And then, when he saw his dad again, when he was 28, he was shocked at how much the old man had learned in 14 years.
I never really thought that you knew nothing. You like fixed computers and stuff. But I was never like, it was never like interesting to me. And I don't think it is interesting.
No, it does not. This is the thing. You're not a computer person. I don't care. It's fine.
I prefer, writing stuff and making.
Right. But the point I'm making is that, like, here at the last 18 months before you go to college, I'm trying to shove the last little bit of, like, worldview into your brain, and it's pretty clear you're baked.
I mean, I don't think they get me already not going to talk when I'm in college. Like, I think that I'll still be learning.
Oh, God. It's going to college.
I think I'll still be learning from you, like, forever.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're just saying that because it's the end of the show.
Of course, yeah. This is all. But I do think I'll continue to like learn from you and stuff. Like it's not going to just be, oh, well, he's out of the house. Now I learn nothing from you ever again. Yeah. We're still going to talk. So yeah.
Okay. I'm glad that you say we're still going to talk.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
much less, but
well, thanks. Thanks, dude.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out on my podcast. You're something like episode 895 or something.
Oh.
Somewhere in the 890s.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's almost...
Maybe in 1,000 episodes you come back.
Yeah, I'd like to come back. Oh, you should have the entire family on for like an episode.
I've had Mom on a couple.
No, but you should have like the entire family.
The whole family?
Yeah.
No,
not the entire... No, I think like the four of us.
Oh, you mean everybody?
Not everybody.
Like your brother?
Yeah. Like, yeah, you could...
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Goodbye.
All right.
This has been another episode of Hansel Minutes. I'll see you next week.